The sheer scale of Nexus Station wasn't what initially struck Ambassador Lisa Carter. 3 lunar masses of radiant metal and crystalline structures hung impossibly in the gulf between galaxies. Nor was it the subtle gravity coaxing her coffee down, defying zero-G, or the breathable air, recycled by alien biology beyond her comprehension. No, it was the alien stares, piercing, assessing, making her feel like a gaudy mockery at a solemn occasion. Leading the reception, a being resembling a praying mantis crossed with an abstract theorem, Coordinator Vex Sky of the Tribunal Council clicked mandibles in a gesture her briefing identified as courteous. "Welcome to the Galactic Mediation Summit," Vex intoned, and Lisa suppressed a wince. Her title, Ambassador Carter, seemed to inflict a tangible discomfort on everyone present. "Thank you for the invitation. This station is remarkable." Vex's multifaceted eyes swiveled, simultaneously focusing on her and conspicuously avoiding her gaze. "Though I confess, we anticipated a different envoy." Lisa's brow arched. Earth had dispatched its foremost diplomatic asset. The ensuing silence hung heavy, pregnant with either mirth or menace, ultimately broken by a sound resembling an alien clearing non-existent vocal cords. "Available?" Vex inquired delicately. That is precisely the source of apprehension. Lisa had navigated political currents long enough to recognize carefully veiled insults and possessed the instinct to counter with proactive bewilderment. "I'm sorry. Is there an issue with my accreditation? Because I assure you, my diplomatic credentials are fully valid." The queue at customs felt suffocating, almost deadly. "Your security detail is impressively vigilant," Vexy acknowledged. Yet waving appendages that resembled arms, they conceded, "Your authorization is acceptable. However, we'd imagined Earth dispatching Ambassador Harrison, perhaps Robert, or, honestly, anyone from their primary diplomatic corps." A playful lilt entered Lisa's voice. "That stellar crew is wrestling with a minor hiccup back on Earth. A rebellious AI and a nuclear submarine, a typical Tuesday scenario, so you're stuck with me." The welcoming party exchanged loaded glances, a feat considering their varying ocular arrangements. "I comprehend," Vexy stated, with palpable disbelief. "And your expertise in interspecies diplomacy?" "Overflowing," Lisa responded brightly. "I've been navigating conflicts between species for ages. Admittedly, most were household pets, their squabbles centered on territory or romantic interests. But the core ideas remain." Silence descended, heavier than before. "She references creatures of Earth," one committee member murmured to another, their language like clashing wind chimes. "Domesticated animals." "I grasp her meaning," came the reply, etched in similar tones. "The puzzle is, does she truly grasp ours?" Lisa offered a charming smile. Her earpiece delivered instant translations, but feigning ignorance, she had found, gifted a strategic edge in talks. Individuals divulge much when they believe they aren't heard. "Very well," Vexy announced, pulling themselves together admirably. "We shall proceed to the briefing room to address pre-summit protocols." They advanced down hallways, whose structure seemed to subtly alter when glimpsed from the corner of her eye. The walls featured what she presumed to be artistic depictions of member species, although several looked more akin to severe cautionary signs. "So," Lisa began, the words a fragile thread woven into the vast silence. "This grand summit for peace, then?" Vexy offered a reply that barely brushed the surface. "Indeed. Charting new paths for trade, diffusing looming galactic conflicts, resolving territorial clashes, all the usual weighty matters." "Precisely," Vexy confirmed. "Though I must confess, things have grown rather complicated since your arrival." Lisa tilted her head. "Complicated how?" A disconcerting click emanated from Vexy's mandibles. a sound Lisa was learning to interpret as the alien equivalent of uneasy amusement. "It appears," Vexi continued, choosing words with evident caution, "that one of our most crucial attendees harbors reservations about proceeding." "Reservations?" Liisa prompted, a knot tightening in her stomach. "The Kitharara," Vexi stated, the name heavy with unspoken implications, "have communicated that they refuse to enter any enclosed space that harbors a human presence." Lisa halted, her breath catching. I beg your pardon?" "They have made a formal request," Vexi explained, "that you be relocated to an entirely separate facility for the duration of our proceedings. For their comfort, you understand." A chillingly placid tone crept into Bliss's voice, a familiar signal of impending trouble to her colleagues back on Earth. "And pray tell, Vexi, who exactly are these Kitharara?" Vexi's multifaceted eyes shifted, a flicker of what might have been embarrassment crossing their surface. "They are, as best as I can articulate, apex predators. They have subjugated 17 star systems. Their very biology is meticulously engineered for the brutal artistry of the hunt and the finality of the kill. They stand a formidable 4 meters tall, encased in formidable armor, and possess natural weaponry capable of cleaving through the most resilient known materials." Lisa swallowed. "And their history?" "In recorded history," Vexi elaborated, "they have never exhibited fear of any entity. Never." Lisa's gaze met Vexi's. "Their home world," Vexi added, "is designated a Class 6 death world by the Galactic Survey. For context, the previous holder of that designation was a planet composed entirely of molten acid and searing lava." Lisa processed this, her mind reeling. "And these terrifying cosmic predators," she murmured, a strange disbelief coloring her tone, "are afraid of me." "Not afraid," Vexi corrected swiftly, a touch of earnestness in its voice. "They simply prefer not to share confined areas with your species. It's not a personal aversion, is it?" Liisa resumed walking, a wry smile touching her lips. "And how, precisely, did they ascertain my species?" "Ah," Vexi replied, a hint of something akin to sheepishness in its tone. "We transmitted your species profile to them, as is customary for standard diplomatic protocols. Protocol demands I present this diplomatic packet. It's merely procedure, naturally." Lisa's smile could have sliced through steel. "Tell me," she said, her voice dangerously soft, "what does this species profile actually say about humans?" Vexi's mandibles clicked, a nervous tick. "Typical data. Bipedal, omnivorous, just recently attained interstellar flight. Indigenous to a Class IRI planet. Moderate strength. No natural defenses or weaponry. Categorized as a non-hostile species." "Non-hostile," Lisa echoed, her smile never faltering. "Indeed, the exact assessment reads, harmless, easily amused, with grandiose aspirations." Lisa halted, pivoting to face the alien, causing him to flinch back. "Forgive me," she purred, her smile intensifying. "But who penned this ludicrous report?" "The Galactic Survey Department. They collect species information for diplomatic use. They deemed humans utterly harmless," Vexi stammered. "Hence, the Catherine's actions are baffling?" Lisa tilted her head, considering this. "I suspect there's some rather crucial data omitted from this profile." "What data, precisely?" "To begin," Lisa continued, "the author neglected to investigate the fate of prior apex predators on Earth." Vexi's multifaceted eyes stilled. "Apex predators?" "Oh, yes," Lisa beamed. "We had saber-toothed tigers, enormous bears, colossal wolves, truly magnificent creatures, natural armaments, hides built for survival. What became of them? Lisa's smile blossomed. We happened. The corridor seemed to mute. Even the station's hum diminished as Vexi absorbed this revelation. Are you claiming that humans extinguished other apex predators? Well, Lisa replied reasonably, some met their end through natural events, shifting climate, plagues, disasters. However, those that threatened early human communities. She trailed off, shrugging. We're exceptionally adept at problem-solving when motivated. But you don't seem to think we are Vexi protested. No natural weapons, no armor, no specialized hunting skills. Lisa nodded. Correct. We lack claws, fangs, protective hides. But we possess something far more potent. Ingenuity, nimble fingers, and a reckless refusal to recognize our limitations. Vexi's mandibles stilled. I don't comprehend. Lisa explained. Other species see their apex predators and think, that's the top. Humans saw ours and pondered, how can we kill it with a sharpened stick? The Cathara instinctively grasped this. Laser added, the Cathara, apex predators for eons, are masters of intimidation. Their survival instincts, honed over millions of years, are screaming. Something's deeply amiss. Amiss? Vexi questioned. A species without natural defenses, armor, or specialized hunting traits. Yet it somehow conquered a planet teeming with dozens of apex predators. Vexi fell silent. They fear you, personally, don't they? Lisa replied, no, they fear what I represent. My calm demeanor, my friendly approach, my unperturbed state despite their potential to maim me. It signifies one of two things. I'm utterly oblivious to the danger, a possibility I readily admit, or I'm simply not in danger. Which is it? Lisa's smile, though pleasant and professional, held a chilling intensity. Well, a Harvard law graduate understands threats. Therefore, she paused, the unspoken words hanging heavy, a blade poised above Vexi. Therefore, Vexi breathed, you're not in danger. Precisely. And that, Lisa concluded, is terrifying. If a lone, defenseless human posed no threat to a 13-foot-tall apex predator bristling with natural weaponry and armor, then the Galactic Survey's Earth threat assessment was catastrophically wrong. The emergency session commenced at 0400 station time, a brutal hour that left half the galactic delegates struggling against sleep, hibernation cycles, or their species' version of a circadian disruption. Lisa Carter, bleary-eyed, sat at the conference table, sipping the food dispenser's optimistic attempt at an Earth-compatible stimulant beverage, as a cacophony of alien voices argued in 17 different languages. This is unheard of, declared Ambassador Thekmar, a crystalline being whose voice resonated like wind chimes caught in a cyclone. Never in 3 millennia of galactic diplomacy has a species refused a summit due to another delegate's presence. The Cathara have never exhibited fear, added Counselor Zephyra, her tentacles writhing in what Lisa's briefing described as intense distress. Their warriors have braved plasma storms for amusement. They've colonized planets where gravity would pulverize most species. They defeated the Void Hunters. Lisa took a sip of her caffeine-adjacent drink and tried to appear engaged. Forgive me, but has anyone considered simply asking them why they refuse to attend? The argument ceased instantly, as if silenced by a single command. Well, Vexi began, mandibles clicking nervously. We assumed it was self-evident. Self-evident how? Thekmar pressed. You're human, Vexi offered. Presumably it's a biological incompatibility, a primal territorial instinct. What? Lisa interjected. Some explanation for why the galaxy's most fearsome hunters are suddenly acting like prey? A profound silence descended, broken only by the station's life support hum and a distant, high-pitched sound that could have been a scream, but was probably just the Vex delegation enjoying their breakfast. Perhaps, Vexi ventured. Ted reached out carefully. We really need to communicate directly with the Kithar, he urged. An excellent suggestion, Lisa agreed, her voice laced with purpose. Establish a comlink now. Ted hesitated. Are you sure you wish to be the one to speak with them? Counselor Zephra's tendrils ceased their agitated dance, focusing on a rapid, nervous tremor. Absolutely, Lisa declared. I am the obstacle preventing their attendance. It's time I understood the nature of their grievances. Baixi's multifaceted eyes swiveled, revealing what Lisa now recognized as an alien manifestation of sheer terror. Ambassador Carter, I implore you, reconsider. The Kithar are direct in their communications. And I am capable of matching that energy, Lisa retorted with a disarming smile. Make the connection. A wave of energy ripped through the conference room as the holographic array engaged. The very air above the table distorted and reformed, revealing a being that defied easy description. A creature born of nightmare, yet possessed of an unnerving composure. It was exactly as they'd been warned. A Cathara representative. An imposing 4 meters of hardened muscle and chitin, bioweapons that shimmered like polished night, and a predator's gaze that spoke of a species' dominance on countless worlds. When it spoke, its voice resonated with the earth-shattering force of tectonic plates colliding. I am War Prime Kithvar of the Kithar Dominion, it resonated. Explain this intrusion. Lisa met his gaze unflinchingly, leaning forward in her seat. Greetings, I am Lisa Carter, the diplomatic representative of Earth. I understand there are some hesitations regarding a meeting. The effect was instant and visceral. Kithvar's armored flesh pulsed, the weapons extending on their own, and his eyes stretched. Panic spread across all present but her. The human, Keith hissed, his voice a menacing whisper. Explain its presence. I'm here, Kithvar, Lisa stated, remaining calm, because Earth has been invited to participate in the Galactic Peace Summit, just like everyone else. No, Kithvar's head moved side to side in a disturbing manner. Never the same, utterly unlike. Okay, Lisa conceded. So, what sets us apart? The War Prime remained silent, its predatory gaze burning into Lisa, a laser's intensity cataloging her vulnerabilities, plotting its attack, measuring the lethal space between them. Then, astonishingly, it chuckled, a sound like an avalanche finding its voice. Every alien, except Lisa, scrambled for cover. What makes you different? Kithvar rumbled. You sit there, fragile, diminutive, unarmed, and you dare ask what makes you different. That's right, Lisa affirmed. I'm sitting here, defenseless, conversing with a towering apex predator who could obliterate me effortlessly. So I'm curious, why are you afraid? The laughter ceased. We are not afraid, Kithvar declared, yet his voice held a defensive tremor that betrayed his words. Then why the refusal to attend the meeting? Because, Kithvar said slowly, we are not fools. The War Prime's armor shifted, and Lisa saw an alien mirroring someone choosing their words carefully, deciding how much truth to reveal. We know what you are, Kithvar finally stated. What I am, your species, its nature, its history, its deeds. A chill, unrelated to the station's temperature, swept over Lisa. And precisely what is that? Kithvar's gaze never wavered. You are the species that slew gods. Silence descended, broken only by Counselor Zapira's tentacles thudding to the floor as she collapsed. I'm sorry, Lisa whispered. Could you repeat that? Your species profile, Kithvar continued, classifies Earth as a type IRI world. Moderate gravity, breathable atmosphere, abundant resources. It designates humans as omnivorous bipeds, physically unremarkable, lacking natural weaponry. Correct. But it omits what ruled your world before you. Lisa's coffee remained, untouched, a testament to the chilling revelation. A chill snaked through the air, yet she hesitated to reach for warmth. What titans held sway over our Earth before humanity's rise? She mused. Keith leaned forward. We delved into your world's history upon receiving the summit invitation, eager to understand the nature of this new species entering the galactic fold. His voice resonated with a hint of apprehension. We discovered your planet once teemed with life that dwarfed even our mightiest warriors. Predators wielding fangs as long as our weapons. Reptiles capable of consuming entire starships. Sea behemoths that could drag continents into the abyss. Lisa acknowledged with a slow nod. Earth has certainly witnessed extraordinary creatures. A hushed reverence filled Cathvar's voice, bordering on the sacred. These were not mere beasts. They were apex predators, unmatched by anything in our current galactic civilization. Perfect instruments of death, honed over eons to be utterly unstoppable. They were quite remarkable, Lisa conceded. And you eradicated them all. The accusation hung heavy, a veiled condemnation. Well, Lisa began, not entirely. Many succumbed to natural forces, cataclysmic events, climate shifts, plagues. The ones that posed a threat, Cathvar cut in, his voice hardening. The ones that stood between your species and ultimate dominion. You eliminated those. We defended ourselves, Lisa countered. Indeed, but with what? Cathvar's voice erupted into a furious roar. You possess no natural weapons, no claws, no fangs, no armor, no venom. You are slow, vulnerable, frail creatures who by all rights should have been prey to everything on your planet. We possessed tools, Lisa replied softly. Tools? Cathvar's laughter was laced with scorn. Every species wields tools. Tools do not elevate a species to the level of genocide against beings who were essentially gods. They weren't gods, Lisa insisted. They were simply animals. Simply animals, Cathvar echoed, disbelief dripping from each word. The most formidable predators your world had ever spawned. And you casually dismiss them as simply animals because that is what they essentially were. Tremendously, dangerously powerful animals that sadly threatened you. Keith's gaze turned accusatory as Cathvar concluded, and that is precisely why we cannot share an alliance with you. Lisa frowned. Because we are not cowed by large, menacing beasts? Because you are the species that she beheld them, not as gods, but as puzzles begging to be unraveled. A hush descended upon the conference chamber so complete, the thunder of Lisa's pulse echoed in her ears. Every alien eye, a kaleidoscope of dread, wonder, and perhaps a touch of reverence fixed upon her. Do you seek the reasons behind our scrutiny of your world? Keith's voice sliced through the silence. Initially, we dismissed your species' profile as an error. How could a race so frail, so exposed, so utterly benign, conquer the stars, escaping the jaws of their planet's predators? Yet you did, he conceded, meaning either your world lacked predators, a fallacy quickly debunked, or your species eradicated them. Not eradicated, Lisa countered, her voice a steady beacon. Much of Earth's wildlife, the predators, still persist. The predators that stalked your ancestors, Cathvar interjected. The ones who saw early humans as mere sustenance. Where are they now? Lisa paused, a somber weight settling upon her shoulders. Gone. Gone, Cathvar echoed, the word reverberating with an unsettling finality. Extinct. Erased. annihilated by a species that seemingly defied natural selection, daring to not only survive, but flourish. We possessed every right to survive, Lisa asserted, a newfound edge sharpening her tone. We were an integral thread in Earth's vibrant tapestry. No, Kevil countered, his words laced with an alien unease. You represented something novel, a deviation unseen across the cosmos, a species that brazenly defied its designated role in the grand, natural design. Lisa settled back, a knowing glint in her eyes. That unnerves you, as it should unnerve everyone, Kethar proclaimed, his gaze sweeping across the room. For if humans can obliterate apex predators that commanded their world for millennia, what precisely are your limits? The question lingered, a spectral blade suspended above them all. Our aims are not rooted in annihilation, Lisa stated, her voice a soothing balm. We are here seeking a foundation for lasting peace. Peace? Carr spat the word like venom. Yes, your species cherishes peace. You create art, craft music, spin tales, and share laughter. Your civilization is forged upon the anvil of Co-A partnership, built on mutual gain. Yet Ketvar's words sent a shiver down Lisa's spine. When your civilization faces annihilation, you transform. What do you mean? Lisa asked, her voice tight. We've studied your history, Lisa Carter. Your wars, your conflicts, your desperate existential struggles. Keith interjected. Every species engages in conflict, but not like yours. We fight with honor, testing our mettle, proving our dominance. Noble, Lisa conceded cautiously. Ketvar continued, but when you wage war, you don't fight, you eradicate. You pinpoint the problem enemy, threat, obstacle, and eliminate it utterly, disregarding honor, tradition, even natural order. Blah's coffee had grown frigid. Lisa confessed her confusion. Ketvar explained, your people have a saying, if you challenge the king, ensure you succeed. Keith clarified, threaten humanity, and be absolutely certain of complete annihilation. Fail, leave even one survivor, and they will relentlessly pursue your species' extinction. A heavy, chilling silence descended. This silence was different, pregnant with danger. Lisa, her voice trembling, whispered, you fear we'll do to you what we did to the saber-toothed cats? We fear, Ketvar replied, that you will repeat the extermination of the Nazis. Every alien focused on Lisa, making her feel infinitesimally small. She barely breathed, asking, how much do you know? Enough, Ketvar said grimly. We're aware of species that threatened your survival, and we know their fate. Lisa corrected, the Nazis weren't a separate species. They were us. Yes, Ketvar acknowledged. And when they posed an existential threat, what did humanity do? Lisa fell silent, then admitted, we solved the problem. We eliminated them. Ketvar finished the chilling thought. Not just their armies, not just their leaders. Their regime was annihilated. Their poisonous ideology, their twisted culture, their very identity as a nation, obliterated. You ensured they could never again menace the cosmos. They were perpetrating genocide. We were compelled to halt their atrocity, and you eradicated them entirely, irrevocably, Lisa stated, her voice heavy. Without mercy, she echoed softly. That, Kethvar declared, is precisely why we refuse to share quarters with you. We are apex predators, guided by instincts forged over millennia for our species' survival. And every fiber of our being screams that you represent the gravest threat in the galaxy. The Emergency Galactic Council convened within the Nexus Station's impenetrable vault, a chamber conceived to contain entire planetary governments teetering on the brink of diplomatic disaster. At the heart of a circular table, resembling a diminutive asteroid, sat Lisa Carter, encircled by envoys from 47 distinct species, each maintaining what her briefing delicately termed a prudent distance. "Let's begin with the glaring issue," Chancellor Moon began. The being resembling a grotesque fusion of sea anemone and ruthless tax collector. "How much of your species' history did you purposefully suppress from your galactic application?" Lisa took a measured sip of her coffee, her third since the session's jarring commencement, and meticulously considered her reply. "Define purposefully. Did you deliberately exclude crucial information that would have swayed the Galactic Council's decision regarding Earth's induction into the galactic community?" Mun pressed. "We furnished everything mandated in the application," Lisa countered. "Biology, technological advancement, cultural paradigm, resource inventory, territorial claims. But not military strength," Mun seized upon. "You did not solicit details of military strength." "We query every applicant regarding their military capabilities," Mun insisted. Lisa retrieved her datapad, her fingers dancing across the screen. Question 47. Does your species possess weapons of mass destruction? Our answer: yes. Question 48. Are you presently unengaged in open conflict? We affirmed that we had not. Standard procedure, really. Counselor Zephyra spoke, her tentacles still quivering slightly from her earlier spell. These questions are meant to quickly assess any clear and present dangers to the galaxy's peace. Indeed, Lisa replied calmly. And we pose no such danger. We've come for a peace conference. Vexi interjected, a nervous clicking emanating from his carapace. But you failed to mention that humans are capable of wiping out apex predators. You never inquired about our capacity for eliminating apex predators, Lisa gently corrected. The query was about natural weapons, armor, or specific adaptations for hunting. We possess none. Then how? Lisa responded with infinite patience. Tools. We've been crafting and employing tools for 2.5 million years. It's rather central to our identity. Chancellor Morin scoffed, dismissing her. Every species utilizes tools. It is not exceptional. Every species uses tools to amplify their inherent abilities, Lisa countered, her voice clear and unwavering. We employ tools to fundamentally transcend our biological constraints. The chamber went deathly quiet, save for the quiet thrum of the translation matrix, laboring to convey Lisa's complex statement into 47 distinct languages. Transcend how? Ambassador Crix inquired, his crystalline voice resonating with the cold precision of algorithms. Lisa rose and moved towards the chamber's central holographic display. May I proceed? Morton said, with obvious reluctance. Lisa activated the interface, calling up a detailed star chart. This is our home system. Their world is designated as a Class 7 death world, correct? Affirmative. 3 times Earth's gravity. An atmosphere utterly toxic to most life. Surface temperatures that could melt lead. Radiation levels lethal within minutes. Your point? The Cathara evolved there. They adapted over countless millennia. They developed natural armor, strengthened bones, resistance to radiation, every biological adaptation required to thrive in that brutal environment. Yes, we are now aware, Lisa said, gently manipulating the holographic display. Let me reveal something truly remarkable. The hologram dissolved, morphing into a vision of another world. Our Earth, Lisa breathed, a serene sphere of blue and green. A Class 1 world, comfortable gravity, breathable air, and overflowing with resources far kinder than our harsh Cathara origins. Precisely, she confirmed. But Earth wasn't always this haven. Not for us. The display flickered, revealing Earth's primeval face, A brutal landscape of ice and fire, ruled by colossal, terrifying beings unlike anything in the galaxy now. Early humans weren't the apex predators, Lisa stated, her voice resonating with gravity. We were prey, constantly hunted by creatures far more powerful, swifter, and formidable. Bayexi interjected. The Cathara apex predators, cave bears with jaws that could shatter bone, saber-tooths with dagger-like fangs, and packs of enormous wolves capable of bringing down beasts 10 times their size. Ambassador Crix murmured, "And yet you endured." Lisa's eyes gleamed. Endured? We flourished. We blanketed the planet, molding ourselves to every environment, every extreme. Deserts, jungles, frozen wastes, towering mountains, coastlines, places no single species should have conquered. How? Lisa smiled, a hint of cunning in her expression. We innovated. We didn't attempt to physically surpass our predators. We didn't grow thicker hides or sharper talons. Instead, we developed something far more potent. We mastered our surroundings, shaping them to our advantage. The display shifted, showcasing early human settlements, ingenious tools, and burgeoning technologies. When faced with a predator too swift to outrun, we didn't grow faster. We constructed camouflaged pits lined with deadly spikes. When encountering a creature too strong to overpower, we didn't bulk up. We forged spears and leverage. We learned to hunt as a pack. Should we face a foe with impenetrable armor, nature didn't gift us better claws. We crafted better tools. Tools, Chancellor Moran emphasized. Fire, language, farming, metallurgy, architecture, science. Every roadblock our bodies couldn't overcome, we shattered with technology. But Counselor Zephyra interjected, "Surely this is commonplace. Many species use technology to bolster their natural traits." Lisa countered, "Many enhance what they already possess. We engineer technology to utterly supplant what we lack." Her display flickered to illustrate humanity's relentless technological march. The Cathara reign as apex predators through evolution. Their natural arsenal boasts fangs, scales, might, velocity, and reflexes. They are sculpted for predation. Precisely, Lisa continued. We dominate because we chose to. Devoid of natural weapons, we forge them. Lacking armor, we build it. Too slow to chase prey, we invent vehicles. Too weak to subdue enemies, we create machines. Morton pressed, "This isn't unique. All species do this to some extent." They augment their inherent gifts, Lisa clarified. We obliterate our natural boundaries. The screen now showcased human marvels, starships, armaments, factories, and vast networks. The Cathara, Lisa stated, are bound by their very biology. Formidable within those confines, their strength, speed, endurance have an upper limit, whereas humans are only bound by the limits of our own imagination. A heavy, ominous silence settled over the chamber. Ambassador Kiar. "So," Ick observed thoughtfully, "human technological evolution is unlike anything else." "Precisely," Lisa affirmed. "Other species refine innate abilities through technology. We, however, use it to transcend our very nature. To fly when wings are absent. To survive the void of space. To whisper across the stars. To reshape reality at the atomic core. To command the power of suns." Numerous species have accomplished similar feats, Moran countered. But over eons of gradual change, Lisa emphasized, we achieved all this in a mere 10 millennia. An utter stillness descended upon the chamber. 10,000 years, Bayexi breathed, disbelief coloring her tone. More or less, we leapt from nomadic tribes to a civilization among the stars in the time it takes most species to develop a new courtship dance. It defies comprehension. Counselor Zephyr interjected. Technological progress is not so rapid. It's sculpted by eons of selective pressure, biological adaptation, the slow grind of generations. Those are the forces that shape species that use technology to bolster natural talents. But, Lisa countered, we create technology to escape our natural boundaries altogether. Escape? How, exactly? Lisa motioned toward the holoscreen, now displaying a rapid-fire montage of human warfare. When primitive humans faced predators too formidable for simple clubs, we didn't spend 1,000,000 years growing thicker hides. We fashioned bows and arrows. When those proved insufficient, we harnessed gunpowder, then explosives, then nuclear fire. You created nuclear weapons to combat predators? Morin asked, aghast. No, Lisa stated flatly. We built nuclear weapons to annihilate each other. The predators were merely a rehearsal. A wave of stunned alarm swept the room. Delegates from countless worlds erupted in a cacophony of voices, translation systems straining to keep pace. A cacophony of frantic clicks and whistles subsided as Chancellor Moran roared, "Order! Ambassador Carter, are you suggesting humanity crafted weapons of mass destruction to annihilate itself?" Lisa responded, "Among other things, we excel at identifying and permanently resolving issues. But the Galactic Peace Accords explicitly forbid weapons designed for intraspecies conflict." The Accords, Lisa countered, were drafted by species that had already purged most intraspecies rivalry via natural selection. Humans, she stated, never underwent that brutal process. We achieved interstellar flight amidst ongoing, multifactional warfare. It's as if, she added with a hint of quiet defiance, we reached for the stars while still battling each other on Earth. The chamber was stunned into silence. Vexi spoke cautiously. You're saying humans developed interstellar travel while still at war with themselves? Lisa's voice was firm. We developed it because we were at war. Our most significant technological leaps stemmed directly from military research. Ambassador Crick gasped. Unprecedented! That's human, Lisa stated simply. We don't wait for natural selection. We forge our own solutions. But surely, Counselor Zephyra interjected, once you achieved space travel, you unified your planet, eliminated intraspecies competition? Lisa chuckled, a low sound filled with weary amusement. We have 7 billion people on Earth, encompassing countless nations, cultures, religions, and political systems. We've striven for planetary unity for millennia, and we're still striving. But we built spaceships first. The ensuing silence was profound, heavy with unspoken wonder and disbelief. The rasping of Chancellor Moran's respirator, a stark testament to his distress, shattered the silence. So, let me get this straight, he began, his voice strained. A species capable of weapons of mass destruction, interstellar travel, and galactic integration, still squabbling over scraps of territory amongst themselves? Lisa's calm response was a stark contrast. That's a pretty accurate summary, I'd say. He pressed on. And you didn't deem this crucial detail relevant to your galactic application. You were asked about active warfare, he pointed out. We're not at war, Lisa clarified. We're actively engaged in diplomacy. Our conflicts are primarily economic. Economic warfare, trade disputes, resource grabs, technological theft, currency manipulation. The usual. Moran echoed, the usual? Lisa continued, every species contends economically. We're simply exceptionally adept at it. How exceptionally? Moran pressed, his gaze intense. Lisa's smile held a hint of steel. As exo months in the galactic community, and we've already forged trade partnerships with 34 species, established diplomatic posts across 12 star systems, and initiated negotiations to secure resource rights in 7 sectors. Vexi interjected, that's remarkably efficient. Lisa's voice hardened slightly. We're driven. Earth has 7 billion people, limited resources. To maintain our living standards, we must expand economically. And if we can't, her smile vanished, replaced by a chilling resolve, we'll find another solution. A permanent solution. A heavy, oppressive silence descended, the quiet before a potentially devastating storm. Chancellor Moran spoke slowly. I believe we need to reconsider Earth's place within the galactic community. Lisa's eyes glinted. I concur. Because if you perceive humans as dangerous, she interrupted, her tone unwavering. We're not suggesting anything, Chancellor. We're stating facts. Humans are problem solvers. We excel at it. We excel at recognizing dangers and neutralizing them. We are equally skilled at discovering advantages and using them to our benefit. Our actions are solely determined by the nature of our treatment. Is this a threat? It is simply reality. Lisa declared, We've come seeking peace. We aspire to join the Galactic Society, to trade, to gain knowledge, to evolve, and to enrich the universe. Her smile returned, but it lacked warmth and kindness. And should that prove unattainable, she finished, we'll discover a different path. We always do. The room exploded with a cacophony of noise as delegates from 47 different species spoke simultaneously, their voices filled with panic, outrage, and perhaps even dread. Lisa Carter, Earth's ambassador, maintained her composure amidst the uproar, calmly drinking her coffee and allowing the galaxy to determine its desired relationship with humanity. She understood that the true discussion was only beginning. As dawn approached on the station, the emergency decision drew near. Lisa Carter sat in the observation lounge, gazing at distant stars through the transparent aluminum walls, when Chancellor Morton joined her. The initial poll is over, he announced, settling into a chair poorly suited for his multi-jointed form. Out of 7 species, 23 voted to grant Earth full standing. Lisa acknowledged this with a nod. And the rest? 20 favored conditional acceptance with oversight. 4 called for immediate removal, and the Cathara abstained. They wish to confer with you alone before the ultimate tally. Lisa rose, adjusting her jacket. Then let's not delay them. The communications chamber was more enclosed, more private this time. As Cathbar's image appeared, Lisa detected a change in the War Prime's demeanor. He appeared less menacing, more thoughtful. Ambassador Carter, Cathbar stated, we have made our choice. I await your word. We will participate in the summit. We will share a room with a human emissary. Lisa raised an, my perspective shifted, Cathbar declared, his voice resonating with newfound understanding. During our discussions, we confronted a crucial truth. You asked about our fear, Lisa. The answer is clear now. We were afraid because we saw ourselves reflected in you. You embody what we once were, before we ascended to the top of the food chain. Lisa's brow furrowed. I'm still not following. Cathbar elaborated. The Cathara weren't always the dominant force. Eons ago, we were prey, relentlessly hunted by beings far more formidable than ourselves. And what happened to them? Lisa inquired. We eradicated them, Cathbar stated plainly. Not through gradual evolution, not through the whims of natural selection, but through unwavering resolve, unified action, and a fierce refusal to succumb to extinction. A shiver ran down Lisa's spine as realization dawned. You eliminated the threat. We overcame the threat, Cathbar affirmed. And in doing so, we metamorphosed into the very thing we had dreaded, apex predators. Cathvar's image intensified. Now we encounter another species, one that challenges the established order, that dares to question the natural hierarchy. The question isn't whether humanity is dangerous. The question is whether you will succumb to the same path, becoming conquerors, dominators, A species so adept at eliminating perceived threats that eventually everything is seen as a danger. Lisa paused, absorbing the weight of his words. And if we don't? Then, Keithvar's voice softened, you will achieve what we could not. Partnership. The word echoed with hope. The Cathara Dominion, Keithvar announced formally, votes to welcome Earth as a full member of the galactic community, contingent on one condition. What is it? Lisa asked. That humanity never forget its origins, that you always remember what you were before you became what you are, that you remain problem solvers, not problem creators. A genuine smile spread across Lisa's face. I believe we can promise that. Excellent, Keithvar replied. The galaxy desperately needs species capable of solving problems. We have been apex predators for so long, we have lost touch with what it meant to be prey. Now, we remember, and we choose to be neither. No longer predators, nor the hunted. The message ceased, and Lisa carried the burden of humanity's destiny entirely on her shoulders. Beyond the viewport, the stars waltzed in their age-old ballet, oblivious that the cosmos now held a brand new, potentially perilous player. But in the hush of that communication room, a smile touched Lisa Carter's lips as she resolved to revise Earth's galactic file. Under unique talents, she would pen, humans excel at solutions. Indicate plainly if you desire collaborative solutions, or if the solution involves your removal. The decision, she understood, eternally belonged to the vast galaxy itself.